Have you ever dreamt of running away somewhere far off from the busy and noisy lives we live today? All of us have felt at some point in our lives that we just need a break on some island far away. A peaceful place surrounded by nothing but crystal clear waters and pure white sand as we lie under the clear blue skies. Someplace quiet and where you can just ease your stress away and don't have to worry about people constantly nagging you. To you, a place like this may seem like just a dream that is far out of reach, but we're here to make it come true. Hey guys, welcome to Discover X. Today we'll be having a look at some of the least populated islands on the planet. Get ready to explore some places that you may not have even heard of. The Pacific Ocean is the largest and deepest ocean in the world, covering more than 30% of the Earth's surface, with a surface area of more than 155 million square kilometers. This ocean basin is larger than the landmass of all the continents combined. Many of the most isolated locations in the world are located in the Pacific Ocean in a subregion called Polynesia. You'll find it interesting to know that the Polynesian subregion alone encompasses more than a whopping 10,000 islands. This territory lies in the east central, or you could even say right in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. The Polynesian subregion's shape almost defines a triangle, with the Hawaiian Islands at its tip and New Zealand and Easter Islands at its west and east directions, respectively. Though tourists and vacationers frequently visit several of these islands included under Polynesia, a few amongst these rarely visited or even unheard of. The first remote location is the Coral Sea Islands, Pacific Ocean. These tropical islands, which were recently declared to be a sovereign state, are extensions of the Australian territory. The entire reef structure surrounding the island is composed of mesmerizing coral polyps, hence the name. Being largely surrounded by water, the Coral Sea Islands have very few or close to no inhabitants or residents. Though these islands may have a territory of approximately 780,000 square kilometers, most of the land remains untouched due to the island's unfavorable living conditions. Since the late 19th century, these islands were used to obtain a substance called guano, which is a highly efficient fertilizer found in abundance here. This was indeed a plus point of the location, but because of the lacking supply of clean, drinkable water, and people wouldn't dare to settle here for long periods of time. Not much happens on deserted islands like these. The closest you can find to human activities would be a little fishing and a bit of scientific research now and then. The Australian Navy also pays visits to these islands on a regular basis. One of the only sub-islands in the Coral Sea Islands where you could find people residing is the Willis Island. Not more than a handful of people stay in the Willis Island, but they seem to be comfortable enough with whatever they have. But the safety of these residents is put at risk when a cyclone hits these regions. What makes this place stand out is its identification as a gay and lesbian kingdom. Gay rights activists claimed island territories as compensation for the inequality they faced from society. The determination of these activists was so strong that they were even ready to impose war on Australia. But eventually, their efforts proved fruitful later when the Australian government officially permitted gay and lesbian marriages. The second island on the list is the Tuvalu Island. This island's name isn't even going to ring any bells, as most of us haven't even heard of such a term before. Having a population of only 11,000 people approximately, the island is only 2 times the size of the Los Angeles airport. It's so tiny that its presence on the world map is nearly negligible and often goes unnoticed. This explains why not many people are aware that such an island even exists. But in recent times, awareness about the island has increased, and tourists have been visiting the spot frequently. The quiet, peaceful, and less populated area attracts tourists to take a break from their busy lives. Getting to Tuvalu is as easy as boarding a plane. There's one airport on the island, which is obvious as such a small place wouldn't require more than one. The tourists and visitors are provided with a 30-day tourist visa without being charged for departure tax. On visiting the island, a key point to always remember is that ATMs and credit or debit cards are unknown things on the island. The people of Tuvalu don't accept foreigners using ATMs or their credit cards, so you better get your cash ready if you ever intend to pay a visit. The standard currency of this island is the Australian dollar itself, and you have to have them in hand even if you're trying to book a hotel or pay at restaurants. Despite its isolated existence, Tuvalu's inhabitants are quite fluent in their English, which makes it all the more easier to converse with them. Nevertheless, preparing yourself with a few Tuvaluan words may always come in handy. Considering this place's pros, there are many. The fresh fish, chicken, coconuts, and the simple yet delicious Tuvaluan dishes, Fauna Food's pleasant swim spots, the quiet crime, and predator-free areas to name a few. One of the only disappointments on the island would be the terrible Wi-Fi service. There's absolutely nowhere on the island where you can be sure of speedy Wi-Fi. But hey, if you're looking for a place to take a break from the internet as well, you know where to go. Tuvalu's residents also take Christianity very seriously and make Bibles available to anyone who visits. Tristan da Cunha is the last remote island on this list, and it's actually located in the Atlantic Ocean. Despite the busy transport routes passing by, Tristan da Cunha is one of those places that is almost impossible to visit. Unless you're ready to cruise on a ship all the way to the center of the Atlantic Ocean, you're never going to make it to this island. There are no airways made to take visitors to the island, and the only means of traveling would be by boat. But it's worth mentioning that visitors wouldn't even require a visa to enter the premises. All they would need is to be allowed by the island administration. Not only is it considered the most isolated archipelago on Earth, what sets this island apart is the fact that it's a volcanic island. And not just any volcano that died out, but an active one. With a population of only 258 individuals inhabiting the island of 207 kilometer squares, the whole crowd lives only in the province of Edinburgh, which is a very tiny portion of the island. Most of its citizens are believed to be British, with the region's standard language being English. The island gets so lonely that even if one wished to migrate to the island, it wouldn't be permitted unless you have an actual connection with one of their current residents. But if you ever do get a chance to visit the place, tour guides will take you through eye-catching sceneries that one can never experience anywhere else. The staple food there is rather simple and mainly includes things like sandwiches and food of that sort. A frequently visited cafeteria is Cafe da Cunha, which tourists have a pretty good opinion of. Fortunately for visitors, the island doesn't completely lack Wi-Fi service, but it's considerably slow. Apart from that, the unique beauty and wildlife found on this island attract people who love to travel. If you're travel crazy, the world's most remotely visited island has to be on your bucket list. So that's all for today's video, folks. I hope you enjoyed our little tour. If you did, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and press the tiny bell icon on the side to stay notified of all our upcoming content. We'll see you in the next video.